Hey, it's official start of the season. Done school. Finish your finals. Did you
Yeah.
pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, just got on the job. We're gonna set some scaffolding right here. That's the chimney. We are going to demo that chimney. And we're doing a rebuild, so we will, after the stretching, we're gonna get to work. Running things a little different this year. Got the new wheels all set up. Finally got everything set up this morning. Got the rack on the other day and got all the tools in from the other truck. And this is actually the maiden voyage as far as work goes for the new truck. So switched brands a little bit. Went from the GMC to the Ford. So far I'm liking it. It's pretty powerful. I haven't towed anything with it yet. This chimney will be the first load I take home with it, so we'll see how it goes. We're set up and we're ready to go. Had to overhang that one a little bit, but we'll just keep the weight off the backside and keep it on the front. I did just lag through the roof on this one because I've got to pull all those shingles back anyway because they're all tarred, and I'll be putting new shingles through here. So when it comes time to do the flashing and shingles, I'll pull this set of scaffolding out of here. That one can stay because I was able to get it lower, so I'll have enough room to do the work with the ice and water shield around it. This is a setup right into the back of the dump trailer. So we're just getting ready to demo. Just got back from lunch, and let's have a look. Some really deep holes in here. Someone's done some repointing on here. A lot of moss. We know this holding moisture. The crown wash is pretty thin. It's mostly intact. Couple cracks, not too bad. These this one's blocked off altogether, and it's got these caps that are kind of like adhered on. I don't know, it doesn't look very... Oh, this one's just flapping in the wind. Look at this. So I think these are actually, these wires they put in the concrete, they look like welding rods. Look like, I don't know if they are now. It looks like welding rod from an arc welder. Huh. Yeah, so we're gonna start the demo and see how much we can get done in the next couple hours before we gotta get going. This is the first glimpse at the inside of the chimney, so this is the first chance we get to see like how it was built. When I came to look at the job this winter, I couldn't get this. I didn't dare like try to take this stuff off because it's all like bolted to the concrete, and I was able to take this off and look down this one and this one, but this one I couldn't tell. So I told them that we would just have to look at it when I got here. But I mean, as you can see, it doesn't look good. She's got some pretty good cracks. And then look at let's take a look at how these flues are propped up in here. That's pretty crazy. No support, just like all kind of wonky, leaned way over. Yeah, so I see, if you zoom in here, looks like we have some wood that was probably used to bridge for the concrete crown wash originally, that rotted and fell into there. Obviously it's not a good idea to have wood in your chimney. What is this? I'm not sure what that is there. That may be another piece of wood. Yeah. And so let's take a look at the inside of the brickwork. Zoom out. There we go. And you can see when I open up a chimney, this is typically what you see And you never know how deep some of these holes go. I mean, that one goes that far in to the outside of the chimney, you know. So when you have a chimney that's got moisture problems and you're wondering where that moisture's coming in, I mean, it very well could just come from the inside. Like, they don't. This is why I always parge the inside of my brickwork. I mean, some of these are pretty empty. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do to sort these flues out. It's a freaking mess. I'm going to show you guys a couple examples of brick plugging. Brick plugging is, well, you might have a different name for it, but basically it's when you remove one whole brick that's not good and replace it with another whole brick that hopefully matches, that's good. So a couple spots in this chimney, they've done some plugging, and I just want to show you the results because I feel like something could be learned from it. So picture the brick is going over the top, and then this hole is just an empty hole, and they got to put this brick in. Well, there's a couple ways to do it, and they just tucked a little bit of mortar. You know, they put the mortar bed on the bottom all the way through, and they basically laid it empty, it looks like, and then just tucked some mortar in afterwards. And you can see that this brick is completely empty. Okay, and the head joints are empty, and they just tucked it in enough to where, I don't know, it didn't reach the back. So now if you just measure that, like, you only really have, if we measure from that spot, like 1.5 inches of total thickness, you know, which just isn't good enough when you're trying to prevent moisture from absorbing to the inside of your chimney and getting through. You know, like, there's just not enough. So if you're going to be doing this, okay, same one here, same type of thing, empty cores, and over there as well, empty cores, and they just jointed it in from the face, 1.5 to 2 inches. But really, it'd be better off if that was a full 4 inches of mortar, or whatever you can get. If this brick is probably 3 5/8, or yeah. So there you go. It's about 3 5/8 wide, which most brick is, and that's about. You should just go the whole thickness, in my opinion. And then if you're going to use cord brick to plug, you just take your trowel and you slop some mud in there first, and you fill it on both sides and make sure those cores are all the way full before you stick it in. Otherwise, those empty cores could fill up with water and just store water, turn to ice in the wintertime, and when that ice expands, it will blow the brick open. So All right, I've got this brickwork down. This is about where I'm going to leave it, I guess. I might take a little bit more off after I pull the flashing tomorrow, but I'll just, I don't know if you guys can appreciate those flues, but that's what they're looking like. Sorry about the wind. It's pretty windy up here. This one's got that vicious crack in it, so we'll have to do something about that. And but look at the lean. It's got like an opposite lean. Kind of crazy. I don't know why somebody would think to do that, but it looks like actually just seems like the wind that's coming over across this field would knock that right over. So I'm actually just gonna pull those flues down so they don't get blown over, and clean this up and get buttoned up for the night so no water can get in if we get rain overnight. And tomorrow I'll have to go find some brick somewhere and finish ripping the rest of this flashing off. This is just pulling these flues out, and look at this. These ones on top are new. That's the old one. Look at that, cracked right through. That one below it's cracked as well. Let me see. Yeah, see the hairline? Jeez. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you put the flues close. Probably chances are that one didn't have a chimney fire in it. This one did. I mean, this one's full of creosote. The whole flue's full and cracked. So I wonder if that one cracked, and you know, it didn't have any room to move because it's all mortared in and it's touching this other flue. So that one next to it just cracks because it's right next to it. We'll have to figure out what we're gonna do with this. All right, so one of the things that I've gotten good at over the years is being able to watertight something in just a matter of minutes with whatever you have in the truck. So well, I mean, I did throw this roll in the truck intentionally, but I got that flue back on there with some Gorilla Tape for the night, and I'm just gonna put some of this paper over here at the couple plank. This is the other benefit of, I've got it all screwed off, and I had Landon throw some tape on here in case we get some uplift with the wind off of that field, and screwed off on that side. That's one of the benefits of having staging, at least on one side. I can always make a setup to where I can pitch water away. I could put the planks way up and then lean them way out. This just has a subtle amount of pitch, but it should be good enough. Landon, show them the new toy. Let me see that new toy. Look at this new toy I got. Someone in the comments told me to get this thing, and I just got it on the job for the first time. This thing is unreal. I'm gonna start using this for my flashing jobs around chimneys, but literally, yeah, you push it down and click. Thing is unbelievable. And the best part is I got a whole coil of nails in there. I don't have to keep reaching in the box for some nails. So yeah, so this is one of the things you have to be good at when you're juggling your time all the time. We're constantly on the run. We've got 5 kids that play sports. This kid I don't put much into anymore, but the other kids still get a good part of my time. So yeah, like right now I got to run. I got baseball practice. This is my 15th year coaching Little League, so I've got practice at 6 o'clock. I got to meet the team there, and so you know, we've learned to button up in a hurry and get off the job, clean up, and be done for the day. So can't work late when you get a bunch of kids. So we'll be back tomorrow. We just got back with some brick, and we'll be ready to watch Landon break this strap and dump it all over the back of the truck. No? Not this time?
Nope, didn't actually ever happen.
It's actually kind of exciting today. We got some holdout brick here. These are University Blend made by the KF brick manufacturer. Actually, I've laid quite a few of these brick, and I like these brick. They're like they have this old look when they're done. You know, they're kind of like got this dimpled look. they're pretty consistent to lay. I think they look pretty good when they're done. So yeah, the supplier had several cubes of these sitting off to the side, and around the area I'm from, nobody has any left from any of the KF manufacturers. It's so sporadic. So I decided to grab a cube of these instead of Glengarry's, because we never want to lay Glengarry's again. And then they carry the spec mix there, which I use this stuff in the fall, and it actually is pretty good stuff. So I'm gonna try it again here and see how it does. Now that we pulled a couple up, do you think you could pull one up one-handed like your brother did?
No.
No? How far would you get?
Someone dropped the bricks everywhere. I mean, no way. I'm not getting ball on his shoulder.
That's probably why he can't pitch this year. Imagine if that's what did it. He couldn't pitch his senior year because he blew up his shoulder hauling brick like that.
Yeah, the comment section did not like that.
Yeah. Well,
What's up with all the fruitcakes in your comment section?
in a world where everybody's soft, what are you gonna do?
Join them. They can't. No one can admit that was kind of cool.
I know, right? I don't know, dude.
Impressive.
Most of those people that comment about being unsafe, doing like, they've literally never been on a construction site in any kind of manual labor capacity where they're actually doers, you know?
It's like the Grandpa Dans of the world, man.
Yeah, exactly. People that point up on the roof and tell people what to do, but they've actually never been on a roof in their life. I don't know. I brush it off. Unless you've spent the last 25 years of your life up on a roof every day doing work, I don't even want to hear it. I don't care.
I was just too scared to go up on the roof. Remember that?
Yeah. That's how everybody starts out.
Dude, I was so scared. I would climb up to the top and like, I'd be too scared to like, just, I don't know, keep going. To get all the way up to the top and not step onto the staging.
What do you think it is?
I was scared of like, oh, how am I gonna get back down? Like that was the biggest issue.
Remember that one time that I couldn't get you to climb the tree when we were hunting?
Oh my god, you had to like,
And I ripped you up by your coveralls?
yeah.
I was so mad that you wouldn't go 8 feet off the ground.
Okay. No, it's not. It's like 25 feet.
That was like 8 feet off the ground. It was pathetic.
Dude, I just went in there last year, bro. It's not 8 feet, it's like 20 feet at least. And it's still not an easy climb.
And yet, the funny thing is, now I take your sisters to the same spot and they scramble right up the tree like a squirrel.
You brought Liza, dude.
Rada and Nyla too.
Why?
They've all gone up
Why?
just to watch.
Seriously?
And I used to bring Peyton when he was younger than you, and he'd go right up the tree, no problem.
I don't know, man.
Dude, you were just a coward. It's fine. You think about stuff. You're worried about dying. Everybody else is fine.
Yeah, but you guys have fall damage turned off in your settings.
No. Just don't think about falling and you won't fall.
Nah, that's bad. You have to think about falling, bro.
Why?
Because eventually, you'll get too comfortable and make a mistake.
It's all about trust.
Or every single person that works at the freaking deli at Market Basket that gets too comfortable with those things and rips their finger off.
I've never heard of that once.
Dude, Josh just did.
What?
Yeah. He cut his finger off.
He lost his finger on a meat slicer?
Yeah, he's got it back.
Oh, it grew back?
Oh no, it's just like a tip.
Oh man. I hope they shut it down and cleaned it up after that.
Oh, I doubt it.
Stop. No, when you're young, you sit there and you worry about dying.
Yeah, and then Granny goes there.
Like you haven't lived enough life, so you're like, oh, I have to live more life, and so I'm petrified of dying. When you get older, you're like, ah, I guess if I die today, it's all right.
Yeah, well, Granny went there and was probably like, oh, what's up with all this meat on clearance? The dogs are gonna love this.
Oh my God, stop. No, you just, I don't know, you weren't confident in yourself until you did something a few times.
No, I'm still kind of the same way.
You were never like, I don't think, you were never the type of kid that could just do something one time and be good at it. Like the first time you do something, you're always terrible at it. And then you come back, and the next day, like, I don't know if you thought about it all night, but the next day you'd come back and just have it. Like, when I taught you how to pitch, remember how frustrated I was getting with you? Like, in the driveway at the condo?
No.
And I would just go inside and be like, this is ridiculous. And then the next day you'd show up and you'd do everything that we said. And you could actually throw the baseball.
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? You don't remember like trying to push a baseball through the air? Like a shot put? Huh?
No.
Come on. Dude, I used to spend hours and hours out in the driveway with you trying to teach you how to throw a baseball. And finally, you learned how to do it. You were probably only about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old.
Nyla still doesn't know how to throw a baseball.
Huh?
Nyla still doesn't know how to throw a baseball?
Well, she's no different than you were at that age.
Okay. She's 10 years old, dude.
No, she can actually, well...
I was throwing like 50 when I was her age.
Yeah, well, you also had the benefit of
Not having...
somebody to come and teach you how to play baseball every single day out in the driveway.
It's true.
I didn't have to split my attention between a million different things. How often do you see me go outside and play catch with Nyla?
You haven't.
Huh?
Never seen that.
Right, you've never even seen it.
But they have siblings they can go play catch with.
Huh?
They have siblings they can go play catch with.
Yeah.
You're my only person I could.
Okay. You think they can learn how to catch from their siblings?
No.
Probably not. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. You were spoiled, don't forget it.
Yeah, I was spoiled.
Now you owe me.
I was spoiled and you were making the least amount of money.
Yeah, and now you owe me. For all the attention I gave you, now you have to help me give it back to the girls.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I can give it to my own kid.
No, you don't have kids. So now you can take them out for ice cream.
Yeah, if you're paying for it, then
Dunkin'
yes,
Donuts, whatever.
I do a lot with the girls.
Teach them how to throw a baseball. Sit there and complain about it.
I hang out with them all the time.
Who?
I mean, mostly Liza, but
When's the last time you took Rita to do something?
Rita's a little troublemaker.
Maybe she needs more attention from you. Maybe she'll learn how to be soft.
Shut up.
So now I'm just getting down to a spot where I'm getting comfortable with laying from. So what I'd like to do is get below the roof. This is pretty flush with the roof here. That's up a little bit here, and it's only up, it's maybe an inch in that corner, but the rest of it is pretty good. So what you really want to do is get down below this roof or real close to it so we can resize this chimney to our new brick. So everything's gonna look good, and then we'll bond it out, and we'll get these big daggers out of here. We'll get the clip break out of there, and we'll be we want to be down to just uniform masonry that's just full brick. We don't want to be cutting brick, and we don't want to be stretching joints, and we don't want it to show in our flashing either. So when I put a new brick on top of here, say the new brick is indented in like an inch, I'll have to make sure I do something about that. Okay, if it's just these two brick here on the corner, I can take my chisel before I lay the brick and just cut it with my chisel so that it's not going to show in the flashing below. And I suppose if I have to yank these 4 brick here or whatever, it's not a big deal. I can just lay in the 4 brick. But so I'll bond it all out with the new brick to the new size. Obviously the size is going to be different than what this was. I still don't really know what all this business is here. I don't know why. Well, I know, so they've got the header course in here, and they might have they do have a header course down there too. So they're trying to get this chimney. I mean, look how small it is down there, and it's literally like snow coned out the whole way. So my level's not even big enough to really show you. But if I actually hold this plumb there, from the inside of the brick to the inside of the brick, that's about 8 inches at a plumb, just in 3 feet there. So if I had a 5-foot level, I could actually see how far it was out. It's probably out close to a foot. They've corbelled it a foot, which I don't like. I don't think that's very cool, but that's how they did it. They want this chimney to look, it's centered in the house here, so they want it to look substantial when they come through the roof. But a lot of times they'll come through skinny down there because of where the door is centered there. A lot of times they're trying to miss a hallway or a stairwell or something, so they come through skinny below the stairwell, and then in the attic they start to expand it out and get big like this. I haven't seen in the attic on this one, but I mean, you can tell how this one is just, it's like a big ice cream cone. So I'm actually going to start off by parging all this brickwork up on the inside. I'll clean it up a bit, and I'll parge it up with fresh mud just to make it like look better and be a little sturdier. And then some of the you can see that the brickwork coming through here is pretty aggressive. So obviously the first course I get going around, it's not going to be level. I'll try to get my corners close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So what I figure is I got about 3 courses here, and then I want to be about perfect. So I'll get it in 3 courses, back to level, square, and true. So what I'm going to do with these flues is, the homeowner knows they're cracked. When I came the first time, we noticed that the fireplace wasn't going to be usable, and they're not a huge fan of the open fireplace. So I'm just going to stack a couple flues back on top of that. These, I think that the ones we took off are 12 by 12, but those ones are actually bigger down there. It might be 13 by 13s. And then this flue is the 8 by 12 that goes to the wood stove in the basement. So I'm going to put these flues back. I'll put a couple new ones on for the boiler. And I'll just stick them out the top. And what's going to happen in the future is he's probably going to put a pellet insert into the fireplace and a pellet stove in the basement. So I'll just stack these flues up on top of this and try to make sure they're a little supported. And obviously he'll have to clean out all this mess. Have somebody clean out all the creosote and stuff before, but yeah, the flues will just, you know, offer a nice channel for the liner to go down, and it'll have a nice termination at the top, you know, because the top plates that they sell are designed to fit on top of these clay flues. So that's how we're going to approach that. Since I haven't been in the attic, what I'm going to do is just use my phone here and just see if I can take a quick look around and see what's going on in here. It's got some water buckets because, you know, every time it rains it's leaking in, so yeah, it looks like it's all kind of roughly parged up. Can't see too much. And then I imagine this side is probably the same. I can fit my hand through here, but okay, yeah, it's all roughly parged up brickwork, and then some more pans to catch the water. Okay. Okay, well, actually, so now that we're just talking about the pans to catch the water, let's see if we can just look and see where the failure was. I mean, we know that the masonry was probably letting water in, but now that I'm looking at the flashing here, you look how this aluminum counter flashing gets lower and lower and lower to here, to this point where it's just not getting very good coverage either. The lead flash in there is getting good coverage. Oh, and then on this side, look at the aluminum flashing on this side. Well, you see it's starting to deteriorate there, right? So that's looking like, I wonder, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the lead will deteriorate like that, or so the aluminum will deteriorate like this, and that might be because it's touching lead. I've always heard that the lead and the aluminum are not supposed to touch because they have a reaction. Or if you look here and here and here, it might be because there was a nail hole going through there. Some people think that they should nail to the chimney, so there might be. I don't see a nail coming through that flashing now, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't before. So, you know, maybe it was just a reaction with the nail that had come through. I'm not sure, but that aluminum is all rotted there. So yeah, and then this piece up, it's not getting the best coverage up here either. So, and then some of this wood here, actually, geez, doesn't look the best. We'll have to check out how that looks when we pull back the shingles to see how that plywood's doing, because on the edge, it's not very good on the edge. That's a little better on this side, but still it's got some separation here. All right. Well, we're just getting ready to lay some bricks, so Lennon's just getting ready to mix some mud, and we'll get some mud up here to parge all this up as much as I can, and then maybe get a course or two on. As you can see, I've got it all dry bonded out. That's what we call it when we lay the brick out by hand without using mortar. It's just called bonding out or dry bonding. So you want to do this beforehand so you don't make any mistakes. Like you can see on that side, you know, sometimes when I was younger, we used to come into a job and we would just rush it, right? One guy would start on one side, we'd start on the other side, and everybody would just go. And then we would try to fix the mistakes later. But you can see, like on that side, we actually got into some stack bond because it was bonded out wrong coming around. So now this is all bonded out right. I was able to pull this brick in that way off of this edge, which I would rather bear weight as much in here as I can rather than out there. You see this side is just in a little bit on that side. And so I'm still going to parge all this up so it's all nice and parged. And so if you take the level and I look here, I can kind of tell what it's doing, right? So like if I look at this side, I'm like, okay, I'm off a little bit here. Really, it's not off more than an inch, and I could probably get most of that on the first course, and then I'll take my level and I'll go this way. And okay, this side's getting pretty high over here, so I'm way off over here, so that's not even really measuring it. I know that that's 1.5 inches. So I'll put my level on this side, and I'm like, okay, so I can actually work with that because it's actually close. It's actually close, so I can manage these two sides here. And then when you get to this side, you're looking at that brick, and you're like, look at that dump truck right there. So that's level right there. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'll lay the brick from like halfway over there all the way around full brick, and then these ones I'm probably gonna rip them. So I'll cut them in half this way, or a little more than half. That way, because this is a lot to make up all at once. So if I just rip some of these brick coming through here, the next course will be a lot easier. And this is typical of how chimneys kind of come through the roof sometimes, you know, like when they're built in these, like this was a production era chimney where people were just flying, they were doing jobs for nothing, and they had to get done, you know, jobs done super fast. They weren't using levels or anything, they were just bombing them in. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's pretty typical stuff, and you just, you know, if you want to do nice work, you have to do these little things to start off so everything ends up right. Like, I don't want to be trying to fix or hide mistakes on the second or third course. And believe it or not, I've worked on chimneys now for long enough where I've actually seen chimneys that come through with a hog in them. Even smaller ones than this, like a lot smaller than this, come through with the hog in it. And trying to get a hog out of a chimney is tough. It's tough if you don't have a lot of room to work with. You have to like rip pieces, and you have to definitely do it below the flashing. And if you don't know what a hog is just basically, it's where, you know, the chimney's so far out of level, and then all of a sudden you come back and this brick right here is actually like coming through like that from that lower course, you know, and you just can't get that out. So this one's not to that extreme where you'd call it a hog, because really it's just half a brick there. But sometimes they will come through and they'll be off a whole brick at one corner, and you got to sort that stuff out before you come through the flashing, otherwise it looks terrible. Okay, so now's a good time to just take a measurement and see what we're gonna do here for our overall size. And we'll just take a quick note. This chimney is going to be perfectly square, and your number will change a little bit based on what the size of the brick is. So yeah, right now I'm about 43 3/8 ish, right in that spot somewhere. But I know that, you know, when you're doing layout, you know, the common thing is for people to be like, oh, I want to be right on the even number 44. That works out on brickwork. But really, it doesn't work out on brickwork, because we have modular brick, and we know that when we go to this, you know, say the 32, that's the red number. So the red number is every 16 inches, right? So we know that works out on masonry, but it doesn't work out on it doesn't work out for the end of the brick. It actually works out for the beginning of the next brick. So it actually includes that mortar joint to be that 3/8 of an inch. You know, so the brick are 7 5/8, but you call them 8 inches, right? But they're only 8 inches, including the mortar joint. So from here, from that 24 number to here, 32 is 8 inches, includes the mortar joint. So when you get to the end, there's no mortar joint on the end, so we actually want to be 3/8 in from the end. And I know that number there, okay, so roughly my dimension for this chimney is going to be 43 5/8 inch. Okay, I'm not going to go to the 44 because I'm including an extra head joint in there that doesn't need to be there. It will make the joints wider than they're supposed to. So we're not always going to go to the whole number, you know. If it was a 32-inch wide chimney, well, we call it 32, but it's really not. It's 31 5/8. So anyhow, so I'm gonna write this number down and I'll remember it, and then when I'm squaring this chimney up, I'll know exactly where it's supposed to be. Better for parging now, right? Bring me up, stiff mud. All right, ready? Start parging. Okay, so this brick is a little dirty, right? So I brushed it off and I damped it down. I don't know if you can see, but you see how it's kind of damp. Some of it's starting to dry up, but really what we got to do is, instead of trying to layer it on thick, we have to smear it on. Okay, so we're just going to force a bond. It doesn't matter how dirty this brick is. If you put this wet mud on it, mud's actually decent for bag mix. This spec mix stuff, it's not bad. It's got a little bit of stick to it too, so just smear it on. There's a couple dirty spots in here still, but just forcefully smear it on, and then we can come back and coat it after. Forcing a bond. Do you think, all right, so you run every day. If you don't run for a month, would you lose any performance?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, if I run a 1425K, if I took a month off, I probably would only be able to run like 1450. So.
How much do you think I lose not being on the trowel all winter? Do you think I lose a certain percentage?
You were never good to begin with, so no.
I know, right? Well, I got to lose something still. Do you think my brain just forgets and I get better as the season goes on?
Yeah.
You know, like how long has it been since I actually had a trowel in my hand? It's been months. Or is it just like riding a bike? You just get back on it and you're just as good as you were the last time.
Dude, listen, man.
Huh?
If you want Mike Tyson to win that bad, just bet on him.
What are you saying?
I know this is all going back, tying into the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight.
Dude, Mike Tyson's an animal. You kids didn't grow up watching Mike Tyson. Even at 60 years old, however old he is. Don't want to mess with that guy. Dude, they still keep something. Some jagged brickwork here, huh? Jeez. Just wasting a lot of mud, just the stuff that's falling off.
Yep.
Think it'll make it any stronger?
Yeah, probably. That's what it's supposed to do.
Quick little look before I wrap up for the day. Got to be home in time for another baseball game, so we got to get out of here. I guess I just got one course on. It's not level going around. It's close. It is pretty darn close to square, and it's pretty straight. So I got everything parged down as far as I could reach there, and so we just got some rain that came through and kind of messed things up for us. But I had this canopy sitting here, so always got to be ready for a little bit of rain. But yeah, one course on, so not a lot done today, but we got material here, and we'll probably do better tomorrow.